The tape and the expectations got me here. A lot of people are worried about this and worried about that, but the tape and the expectations got me here. Law, what are you saying, man? What are you talking about, fam? Oh, I'm talking about Tony Pollard, CD, TD, those two guys right there, and I got to add in Michael Gallup. Those three factors. A lot of people going back and forth with Ezekiel Elliott, Dak Prescott contract and his money. All I can say is this right here, the tape and the expectations. Meaning that we know for sure that Tony Pollard was a weapon, a force to be dealt with last year, and the only person that could stop him was the head coach or the guy with the clipboard, and that's just how it goes. Whoever called him to be out there, it just was not a rhyme or reason. I just think that with this particular coaching staff, we would see more of Tony Pollard. We would see more of his combination set. And when you think about it, I didn't know that Randall Cobb, as good as he is, we elevated him. We elevated him because when you think about it, Cowboy Nation, before he came to this team, a lot of people were saying, hey, he's washed. Hey, he's a horrible pickup. He's injury prone. You know, he cannot last a full season. He's washed. And we saw him elevate, and then we saw him get his paper, his bag, his money, his coins out there in Texan land. And shout out to him. You know, good brother, cool to hang out with and everything. I mean, cool, calm, and collected as well. And he brought in some element of veteran leadership. I love that, what he brought to the table. Now, why did you mention Michael Gallup? Because he's the secret sauce to this situation. I know that he had, close to 10 to 11 drops. And drops can be subjective, meaning that, you can say the ball was a little bit behind him or the ball was too high and he tried to climb it and he had no really reason to try to climb that ball. It was just too high. He should have let that one go. But as soon as his hands touch it, the fingers touch it, you know that they're going to count that as a drop. Ball may have been behind him. That's a story of a different day. All right, so those three guys right there, expectations are everything. A lot of people have their reservations on this team, but I'm so excited with Mike McCarthy. I can say this until you guys can say, man, stop it, Law. Let's wait till the season starts. No. I'm banging on the table right now for it to be today. I can't wait. Now, when we look at everything, when we start talking about the CD and what he will bring to the table. Now, we do know that where he played at in college, he was explosive. They put him inside the slot. He primarily ate there. And on top of that, he got a catch radius like second to none as relates to this particular draft. Some people said window, he got a full balcony. I want you guys to understand that piece of it. Nevertheless, when you insert him and you think about the way this offense will be in attack mode, we're going to be going for it. We're going to be trying to take your head off as it relates on the offensive side of the ball, because I believe that the aggressive approach will win us more games than what we did in the previous years. The aggressive approach. While people are thinking and worrying about this and that, I think that this team is crafted in a sense because we bring it back some continuity. Some continuity is good, right? As it relates to no change in the offensive coordinator, right? We're going to keep him. We're going to keep him. We got him. He's still on the team. The left-handed wonder, Kellen Moore. He's still on the team, right? So within the last few years, of course, we've been rotating that type of situation from the play caller. I think that that's very crucial and beneficial for the quarterback. I know that a lot of people tired of us talking about Dak Prescott contract, so I'm going to give you guys a break on that. I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm just going to talk about the expectations of the season with the ideal, do the players get a chance to be in full training camp gear? Here's the thing, and gear as far as like the mindset and where they're going to be at, I do know that all throughout the NFL .com and NFL news out there, they were saying that, okay, it have to be no buffet meals in the workout facility, 6 feet apart as it relates to social distance amongst each other. But the big test of it all is, believe it or not, these riots, these protesting that's going on right now. When I looked on that TV screen and I started going through Twitter and I started going through my Instagram and I started going through my Facebook feed and I saw LA, boy, I saw everybody out there marching close, side by side, looking like, man, it was like some clip out of a movie, one of those fictional movies, because you can never, ever think to yourself and say, man, this is reality. Them people are deep up in there. We will find out whether or not, in the next following weeks, what would happen. Now, they are marching and they are protesting for a good cause. Everybody knows what's going on with the climate of society, but nevertheless, it's a good situation to see what's going on. Not saying that they all are guinea pigs, but that's something that we have to really think about and say to ourselves. If they are able to do that and still survive, then 9 times out of 10, the NFL will still kick it in. The NFL will still be here. The NFL will still go along with plans because there's so much money left on the table. Now, I do not fall into the situation, and I got to touch on this just a little bit. I do not fall into the situation what Dez Bryant had to say about Jerry Wayne, Stephen Jones, Jason Witten, because Jason Witten did come out and say, hey, man, I support the movement, what have you. And, hey, I don't want people to think or see me in a different light or the wrong light. And he came straight at Dez Bryant with it. You guys can check out the text or the tweets or what have you. Nevertheless, Dez Bryant always been the type of person to speak his mind, which is healthy. Man, I'm telling people right now, it's healthy to get things off your chest, to speak your mind. That's why we want him to come on the Late Night Hype Show. We want him to get his message out to the masses in a long form. Hopefully, one day he will look at it and say, okay, yeah, I'll come on the show. Maybe it'll be 5 years from now. Who knows? Could be 5 months from now. Could be 5 days from now. Who knows? 5 hours from now. I don't know. All I can say is that Dez Bryant, sometimes you want to tell a brother to say, hey, man, come on, man, it's the time and place. But I feel exactly what he's saying. It's a heart change, culture change. It's a movement change. I think that people need to be understanding of what he's coming from. And it's hard for everybody to see the same picture, especially when you are in the frame. It's hard to think about things like that. However, when you look at it, when you think about it, and you say to yourself, Dez Bryant is Dez Bryant. And that's all I will say with that. Now, with Stephen Jones and Jerry Wayne Jones, I don't know. I never been around them. I never hung out with them. I never been in the locker room or any press meetings or one-on-one encounters with them. So he may have more insights to that situation. But he could at least text or call him, The brother coming straight out, just like Drew Brees. That situation, that's close to home. A lot of people think that, hey, just because they admire a certain person or a skill or a set that a certain person have, that they should all have the same views. Everybody should all love the same flavor of Kool-Aid and things like that. But no, life does not work that way. It do not, baby. And as much as people say, yeah, man, I forgive him, but at the end of the day, Drew Brees, there's other people on the team that didn't get a chance to understand where is he coming from. And all they gonna think about is folding him up like a pretzel. And that's the opposing opposition. Or it could be during training camp. Who knows? Who knows? Because a lot of time people say whatever you say at first is from the heart. Everything else is allegory. It's not real. It's not true to the matter at hand. But people do allow things to slip out, and people do make mistakes, right? But there's a difference between a bad decision and a mistake. I'm gonna let that sink in and rest in on your mind. All right, so back to the Cowboys situation here. I want people to understand this, and I'm gonna say it again. Tony Pollard, write this down, Tony Pollard, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. Those three on the offensive side of the ball is going to change the complexity of everything. Of course, you can throw in Jarwin, what he does vertically stretching the field. Nevertheless, my thing is we saw a glimpse of what Tony Pollard was able to do with Jason Garrett as his head coach. Close your eyes and imagine what he's going to do. I'm thinking that even though, I got to say this, even though Ezekiel, the main man, Elliott, the path of the righteous man, is beset on all sides, even though he had more snaps than any time of his career last year, I think that Mike McCarthy, he does some analytic works. He said he does it. I think that he's going to put things in right places to have the opposition standing on their heel. We're going to see more 20 personnel, 22 and 21 personnel. We're going to see more of that this year than anything else. We're going to see the combination of multiple running backs in the backfield and us utilizing CeeDee Lamb and the flex position of switching CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup out on the edge there. And we already know teams are going to try to roll that coverage to Amari Cooper's side, so he's going to still be the silent assassin. Just watch how this thing play out. Let me know how you guys feel about everything. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go. Let's go. I'm out. Peace.